Good morning, everyone. It's been a while. I feel like I always say this in my videos, but this time I have a valid excuse. I have officially been in Japan for about 2 months, I would say. And so I've been working at my English teaching job for about a good month and a half now. I feel like I've finally settled down, and now that I've settled down, I have a little bit of extra energy. It doesn't look like I do now because it's still, what time is it? It's still 8:30 in the morning. I'm just waking up. But I do have a little bit of energy, and of course, because I love making YouTube videos and I've been wanting to make this more of a habit. I feel like I fail every time, but it's better than giving up, right? So I'm back making videos, hopefully every week. In this video, I didn't really want to so much give a life update because I feel like once I start talking, then I just talk, and it's just a bit, I don't know, it feels a bit stale sometimes. So I gave myself a theme for this video to work with. I'll be doing my makeup while talking, as usual, because I have time. So the theme for today's video that I've given myself is culture shocks I've noticed or had during my first 2 months in Japan. The first thing that really struck me, all of my students are such hard workers. This was something I noticed in the first week or so working as an English teacher. So I work the afternoon shifts, afternoon and night shifts at my work, and my last lesson is at 8:30, so I won't finish until 9:15. Sometimes I won't leave the work until 9:30ish. I'm just absolutely blown away at my students who will come in after a full day's work, and it's not just once a week, it's maybe 3 times a week. You know, some of my students, they'll come in at 7:40, 8:30 for an English lesson, a 40-minute English lesson, and I can't imagine finishing a full day's work and then thinking, okay, I'm going to go to school now and study. That's so cool. It's super inspiring, and it's actually motivated me to work harder on my language learning and also my work ethic in general. I think in Australia we have more of a relaxed, go with the flow kind of attitude, and in some ways that can be really beneficial, but I think in lots of other ways it stops people from, I don't know, achieving stuff. People get sucked into the, oh yeah, she'll be alright kind of mindset, and I don't know, just go with the flow a bit too much. But here in Japan, the work ethic is really, lots of people would describe it as intense, but I admire it to a certain extent. Of course there has to be balance, but I think I was definitely leaning more towards the Australian work ethic. I was a bit too relaxed, and now I'm seeing my students work so hard when they don't have to. It flicked a switch in me, and it's inspired me a lot. So if any of my students are watching this, thank you so much for your hard work and taking my lessons. I am back on track with my learning goals, career goals, and it's all thanks to seeing you guys every day. Okay, so the second culture shock I experienced here that I've never really experienced before because I've never worked a full-time job in Japan was the nightlife. The nightlife here is pretty amazing. So like I will leave work around 9:30 and all of the shops and restaurants are still pumping. Like they're full of people. It's not just restaurants and bars, there's shops that are still open, and that to me is just crazy, especially coming from a smaller city in Australia where most restaurants and bars on a weeknight will close relatively early. And you know, when you walk around the city, my hometown, at night, it feels like the city is ready to go to bed. Like it's a wind down time. If people are out, they're having a relaxing meal or a little drink as like a nightcap. But here, honestly, it feels like the night just starts at around like 9:30, 10. And if anything, it's more chaotic sometimes at night than it is during the day. That was a shock for me, but a good shock. Like I'm able to arrive at my home station here in Japan around 10 p.m.-ish and the supermarket will still be open so I can get dinner. Huh? That's so crazy to me. That would never happen in Australia, or in my town anyways. Everything closes around maybe 7 or 8 p.m, especially supermarkets. And so if you want food past 8 p.m, you have to go to a restaurant. You can't go to the supermarket. So that was the second kind of bigger thing that I've noticed living here. My third one, and now I think about it, I should have put this at the top of the list because for me, this is probably the most heartbreaking. There is no proper coffee shops I can get a good coffee in the morning. For me, coffee is such a massive part of my routine, and it is the love of my life. Not to sound dramatic, but it is. And not being able to have a coffee in the morning, a good coffee, is actually kind of really sad to me. I feel like I can't start my day properly if I don't have a coffee. So let me explain this to you. In Australia, what happens, what a normal day looks like for an Australian worker is you will wake up, you will get ready, and then you'll make your way to your workplace. And by this time it's probably 8 in the morning, right? Or maybe 7:30-ish, depending on when you work. And coffee shops will be open for coffee. And I'm not just talking about chain coffee shops. I'm talking about proper, independent little roasteries and coffee shops. So most Australians on their way to work will stop at their local coffee shop and get a coffee. But When I started working here, I told myself I would prefer working in the morning because I'm more of an energetic morning person. But starting work in the morning and not being able to find a coffee, like a proper coffee, it got to me, and that's why I changed my timetable to the evening, because I couldn't get decent coffee in the morning, and without my coffee I feel like my day has not started yet. So I know that sounds dramatic, but it's just a part of being an Australian, I think. But now I work afternoon shifts and night shifts. I don't really have too much trouble finding a coffee around. So that was the third culture shock that I've kind of experienced here. So I have a whole list written on my laptop down here, and I've already been talking for nearly 20 minutes. So I'll do one more and maybe I'll make a part 2 of this video. So this is the 4th point that I've kind of like noticed here in Japan. I have arrived here in the middle of summer. So for example, yesterday it was 36 degrees. You're probably thinking, Matilda, you're from Australia, you'll be fine here, right? No. Japanese summer is something you should not underestimate, okay? Yes, it's hot like Australia, the temperature's relatively similar, but this is the big but. It's so humid here. It's nearly 100% humidity every day. So it means that it feels hotter than it actually is. So you're constantly sweaty, right? And you've probably noticed my hair, right? I got it cut. And I wasn't particularly planning on cutting it, to be honest, but the weather here got to me. It beat me down because every morning I would have to wait ages, like an hour and a half, for my hair to dry properly. Even with my aircon on dry mode, my hair would not dry unless I hair dried it because the humidity is crazy here. The other thing about the humidity here is when you're doing your laundry and you're like washing your clothes, I think you call it damp in English, and that's when there is not enough airflow, or the environment is not dry enough for your clothes to dry. I don't know if it's actually a type of mold or something. I absolutely hate that smell, and so I have bought products to help my clothes not smell like that, because if they do, I could not wear them. It would really grind my gears, is what we'd say in English. So yes, the summer and its humidity has really gotten to me, and it drove me to the point where I cut all of my hair off again. So that is like 4 things that I have experienced here in Japan. I have a list on my laptop, like I said before, and it's kind of long, so I might be making maybe 1 or 2 more videos like this. And let me know if you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. And if you have any like recommendations or any topics you're particularly interested in, that be it Australia or my life here in Osaka, my life as an English teacher, what I want to do in the future, etc. Feel free to comment down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.